You know how some stories get better the more you tell them? This isn't one of those. Every time I tell this, I get that same knot in my stomach I had that night. I get the same little hairs standing up on the back of my neck. I don't tell it to entertain people. I tell it so maybe you'll think twice if you ever hear a knock on your door past midnight. Because I'm telling you, I wasn't drunk, I wasn't tired, I wasn't imagining it. I was wide awake, stone sober, and what I saw was real. And the worst part? It all started in the safest place I knew, my own home. This happened about 4 years ago, late October. The kind of October where the air smells like wet leaves and chimney smoke, and every step outside makes that crisp crunch under your shoes. I live out in Pennsylvania, in one of those small towns where everybody knows everybody, but you can also drive 5 minutes and be in the middle of the woods with no cell service. My house sits at the very end of a long gravel driveway, surrounded on 3 sides by trees. No sidewalks, no traffic noise, just the wind, the woods, and the occasional deer wandering through. And back then, I loved that. I liked the idea of being cut off from the world. It felt safe, private. It was a Thursday night. I remember because I was halfway through a rerun of some late-night comedy I always put on in the background. No visitors, no phone calls, just me in my recliner with a blanket and a mug of tea. Everything was quiet, too quiet maybe, but that's just how nights are out here. Then I heard it. Knock, knock, knock. Now normally I wouldn't think much of it, but here's the thing. Out here people don't just show up unannounced. If someone's coming, they text you from the main road because finding a house in these parts at night is like finding a needle in a haystack. My first thought was maybe it was my neighbor Jim. He's in his 60s, lives down the road, and sometimes his car gives out on him. He's come by for a ride before, but never this late. I muted the TV and just listened. No footsteps, no voice saying, "Hey, it's Jim." And I realized something else. My driveway's gravel. I always hear when someone pulls in, but this time, nothing. I stood up, went to the front door, and pressed my eye to the peephole. All I saw was black. At first I thought maybe the porch light had gone out, but it had been working fine earlier that evening. I hesitated, just listening. That's when I realized how still it was outside. No wind through the trees, no crickets. Even the hum of the distant highway was gone. It was like the whole world was holding its breath. Then it came again. Knock, knock, knock. Slow, deliberate, not frantic, not friendly, just patient. My heart rate picked up, but I leaned forward anyway, pressing harder into the peephole. And that's when I saw it. Someone was standing there, tall, thin, their face hidden in shadow, either from the hood of a sweatshirt or maybe just the way the porch light should have been shining but wasn't. I couldn't make out a single feature, but I could see the way their head tilted, slowly, almost like they were trying to see through the door. I didn't say anything at first. I just froze there, staring. Then I finally found my voice. "Who's there?" No answer. My mouth felt dry, like I'd been chewing on cotton. I reached over, flicked the porch light switch. The bulb flickered once, weak and pale, and then died completely. And I swear when it went out, the figure shifted. Not closer, just differently. Like they straightened up a little. My brain started doing that thing where you try to rationalize. Maybe it's a lost hiker. Maybe someone's car broke down. But every time I tried to make it make sense, that cold feeling in my chest told me it wasn't that simple. "I'm calling the cops," I finally shouted, thinking that would send them running. Still, nothing. And then I heard it. Footsteps, not walking away, walking sideways. Moving along the front of my house, I moved into the kitchen keeping low and peeked out the side window. Nothing, just my yard fading into the woods. Then came the knock again, this time on the side wall. Same slow, steady rhythm. I had my phone in my hand now, dialing 911 with shaking fingers. While I was talking to the operator, explaining what was going on, the sound changed. It wasn't knocking anymore. It was scraping. Long, dragging scrapes, like someone was running nails or something sharp along the siding. I felt it in my teeth. like the sound went straight into my bones. The operator told me to stay on the line and keep quiet. She said a deputy was on the way. I was nodding, even though she couldn't see me, when I heard the sound again. But this time, it wasn't from the wall. It was coming from my back door. I turned and saw the handle rattling. Not violently, just testing, like someone was seeing if it would give. My heart was pounding so loud I thought they might hear it. I grabbed the heaviest thing I could find, a cast iron skillet, and just stood there, muscles tense, ready for the glass to break. Then came 2 slow knocks on the glass panel itself. And then, silence. That silence stretched so long I started wondering if maybe they'd slipped away without me hearing. But when the operator said the deputy had pulled into my driveway, I risked a glance through the blinds. Headlights cut through the dark, and just like that, it was over. No more knocking, no more scraping, no one at the front or back door. The deputy searched the whole property. No footprints in the yard, no tire tracks on the driveway. It was like they'd vanished into thin air. I didn't sleep at all. I sat in my living room with every light on, gripping that skillet until my hand ached. When the sun finally came up, I went outside. That's when I saw them. The marks. Long, deep scratches in the siding beneath my kitchen window. Not random, almost like they'd been carved into shapes or symbols. I took pictures, called the sheriff's office again, and they promised to keep a car in the area for a while. But nothing happened for weeks. No knocks, no strange noises, just me, waiting. Then about a month later, it happened again, in a way I wasn't ready for. I found a package on my porch one morning. No return address, just plain brown paper. Inside was a single envelope, and inside that was a photograph. My house, taken from the woods, at night, and in the picture. You could see me, standing at the front door, looking through the peephole. That was the night everything changed for me. I don't answer the door after dark anymore. Hell, I barely sleep, because somewhere out there, they might be watching again.